Well, that was an eventful reveal stream. Hello, everyone. Today, we're going to cover some of my thoughts and feelings on the recent reveal of Destiny 2 Shadowkeep, along with some other significant revelations made during that time. First, we're just going to go down the list of big stuff coming to Destiny 2. Number one is Shadowkeep itself. It's an expansion coming on September 17th for $35. Forsaken was $40, Rise of Iron was $30, just for context. We'll be going back to the moon, where Eris is back in the picture, and we'll see a lot of old villains returning as nightmares. You do not need to own Forsaken or anything before it to play it. Forsaken and the annual pass are getting price drops. Next, cross-save is coming to Destiny 2 on all platforms. You'll pick an account that you have and choose it to become your main account, so to speak. There will be no merging of accounts. You just pick one, and then that's the one that you use across all the platforms. Cross-play was not mentioned. Next, PlayStation exclusives are done. There's going to be no more exclusive content on PlayStation or hopefully anywhere else going into the future. Next, the base version and year one content of Destiny 2 will become free to play, called Destiny 2 New Light. It is not a version of the game, it is the game. You'll also be given small samples of Forsaken and Shadowkeep content to try out, but you'll need to purchase Forsaken to play the big ticket items, same for Shadowkeep. Next, Destiny is moving to Steam and off of Battle.net. Details on how that full account transfer will happen will come in the future. And finally, Destiny 2 will be on Google Stadia, Google's new gaming initiative to allow people to play anywhere they're capable of playing. Those are the concrete detail kind of announcements. Then we got a 15-minute VODOC that also has a ton of information, which I will try to summarize now. Bungie is looking to deepen the RPG aspects of the game, expand the stat sheet, and for the first time has called Destiny an action MMO. What's being called Armor 2.0 is looking like a way for players to have more customization options, both in terms of mods and stats, and potentially looks as well, with Armor looking like it'll have a point allowance per piece that you can spend on the mods that you want. More info to come over the summer. Finishing moves are a new feature coming to Destiny, although not much else is known about them at the moment. Some exotics were teased, like a heavy bow with some knockback potential, a trace rifle that creates a crit spot on a target, and a special ammo-using hand cannon with a scope on it. Season 8 will get a renewed focus on PvP after a very long year of minimal updates. It looks like Elimination was teased as a game mode that will be returning. Seasons as a business model will also be returning. They will be a la carte, so if you're interested in a certain season, you can buy just that one. And if you're not interested at all, you can just pass on it and come back at the next season. Shadowkeep will include a season pass for the currently active season when you buy it, regardless of when you buy it. The deluxe edition of Shadowkeep will include the next 4 seasons. The new raid will apparently be taking place in the Black Garden. Plus, we have some other more minor notes like Monte Carlo potentially coming back, images of specific bosses returning, stuff like that, which I'm not going to dive too deep into today. Then, yours truly did a 45-minute Q&A session with Bungie about various topics related to Shadowkeep. Some topics could be discussed, others not as much, but I'm sure the one big thing you guys wanted to know about, judging by the Twitch chat, was the return of Trials. There is still no date for the return of Trials. Essentially, it seems like Bungie wants to fix the core PvP experience first, then when it feels good, bring Trials back. When that'll happen, I do not know. So there's a lot to unpack here, and I guess we'll start with my thoughts now. Well, my first thoughts when I first heard all of this news was, man, that's a lot of stuff. But more importantly, it was a lot of good stuff. One of the biggest deals to me was the mention of MMO for the first time in Destiny's history. They've always shied away from this phrase because it's scary to people. When you hear MMO, you think subscription models and grinding and spreadsheets. Now, I don't think the game is all of a sudden going to turn into WoW or Final Fantasy XIV or anything like that, as changing the core experience of the game would alienate a ton of people. I don't want Destiny to turn into something dramatically different compared to what it is now. I just wanted it to become a deeper experience. And it seems like Bungie is finally going to start doing that. Now, whether or not that's because Activision was prohibiting such development, I don't know. I kind of feel like they did have a hand in such things based on how the stream went today. It's tough to tell without a bit more context, but it wouldn't surprise me at all if they were a part of the issue. Next, we got cross-save. This is the thing that I thought was going to be infinitely more likely to happen between it and cross-play. Cross-save just seems like a much easier thing to make happen, but I'm sure cross-play is on the list somewhere. Cross-save is so huge for the game, for players just to be able to hop wherever they want to go, whenever they want to. I'm not sure if it was mentioned if you need to own the version of the game on all of those platforms that you want to play on, or if you're just going to have one license to the game that works across all platforms. I guess we're still waiting for that information. Either way, just knowing that I have the option to go play with friends on another platform, or they can come join me without having to spend 1,000,000 hours grinding a new character is just fantastic. It's so good. PlayStation exclusives being done. Another great note. Probably something that got in the way of doing cross-save in the first place. New Light being an easy entry point for people. Another fantastic thing for the game. The base version of Destiny 2 is something that a lot of people think should have just been free for a long time now, because it just makes sense to offer it for free to get people interested in the game. I remember when they gave it away for 3 weeks after BlizzCon and seeing so many new players hopping on and trying out the game. Now you get all that year one content for free, and if you just want to play Shadowkeep, hey, you're all caught up. Great. No leveling, no hoops to jump through. It's just, here you go. We're in Shadowkeep. I saw a lot of, where's my refund based reactions to this. Yeah, sorry. If you're looking for a refund, you are just a real special kind of person. It's not how the world works. Destiny is going to Steam, not Epic. Well, that doesn't mean they couldn't go to Epic at some point, but Steam is first. I personally don't care what launcher I use to play the game, but I know that people are way happier that it's on Steam as opposed to Epic Games. I know Valve is basically down the street from Bungie anyway, so I'm sure that's somewhat maybe helpful. I don't know. Very good news there as well. Finally, Google Stadia. I wasn't as invested in this announcement, mainly because Stadia isn't out yet, and we don't know the impact it'll have on the gaming world just yet. But considering it isn't going to have any impact on the creative direction or development of the game, I say welcome. Otherwise, yeah, I really enjoyed the Vidoc. There weren't really any things I disliked in terms of the new things revealed. Like, everything listed is a good thing as far as I'm concerned. I'm stoked for the future of the franchise with these new systems changes. I really want to see how they turn up the jets with the RPG aspects of the game. I want to see difficulty options, itemization, the nitty-gritty stuff that we'll probably end up seeing over the course of the summer. Story-wise, I'm interested to see what's going to be happening with all of this and how it may link to some other storylines. But as I mentioned in the Q&A portion of the Bungie stream towards the end, I really want to see some of these storylines get resolved or linked together somehow. This story seems like it could continue the Crota, Oryx, Savathun storyline to some degree, specifically because it's Eris and Moon focused. But at some point, I really want to see these storylines get resolved or linked or literally anything that gives us some sort of conclusion. In terms of the Q&A stream itself, I just want to set the record straight with what I was allowed to ask and not allowed to ask and all that. So Bungie came to me and essentially wanted me to predict questions that were going to be asked by the community and then prepare them ahead of time for the stream. Bungie made 0 demands with regards to having me ask any forced questions or anything like that. All the questions were questions that I came up with. There were some things I had to leave off of the list during the show simply because the answer would have resulted in, we're still working on that, or we don't know just yet. Stuff's still in development where they didn't want to give concrete answers to those things just yet. Examples of those questions were related to the depth portion of the stream. How do armor mods work now? Stuff like that. Otherwise, I had free reign to ask whatever I wanted, and they wanted the questions ahead of time so that they could go grab the correct people for those questions and they could prepare some answers. Otherwise, I had free reign to do and ask whatever I wanted. Yeah, man, this is the kind of stuff I've been hoping to see in Destiny since the game came out. This is the kind of reveal I've been hoping for. More RPG elements, more depth, and more focus on those kinds of things. It still seems like Destiny will keep its core identity as a shooter, an action game, which is a great thing. And yeah, I'm just overwhelmed and optimistic for the future. The only thing that sucks right now is that it comes out a few days after Borderlands 3. I'm going to lay down the law right now on that, by the way. Destiny is my home. I didn't come from Borderlands like some other people did. Destiny is where I started and is where I will continue to be. While I will play Borderlands 3 heavily on stream when it first comes out, when Shadowkeep releases, I will be switching back to Destiny until I feel like I've covered most of the things that I need to cover, and then I will go back to Borderlands. This probably means I will not be producing any Borderlands 3 video, YouTube-based content when the game first launches, which I know may upset some and thrill others. But Destiny is where I live, and I sure as hell am not going to miss this. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.